Hey guys, what's up? This is Michael here, and in today's video I will be showing you guys how to make this really cool spectrum effect in Adobe After Effects. It's really cool, it's a nice effect, and it works with any song. So without any further ado, let it begin. So I just want to start off with saying a couple things. Number one, I am sorry for not uploading as frequently as I'd like to. I am moving and it's a big hassle, but hopefully I will be uploading a lot sooner. Second thing, I am doing another intro giveaway, so all you need to do is comment down in the description your username, any effects you'd like, 2D or 3D, the main color, and I will email you your intro if you win. Now, the winner will be announced on Saturday and will receive their email hopefully by Monday. Their intro by Monday. But without any further ado, let us continue this. Also, I just want to say, if you want to follow up on who's winning the intro or anything about my channel, make sure to check out my other media down in the description. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure project is selected, click on composition, new composition, and what you're going to want to do is make sure this is your render resolution. So make sure this is I'd go for HD, which is 1920 by 1080, and this is your frame rate, and this is how long your composition is going to be. Now, of course, increasing these numbers will of course increase your file size, but I think this is about good. Now, this will be your background color, but of course you can always change that later. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to double tap here and select your audio file. So here I have a audio file. Then what you're going to want to do is make sure composition 1 is selected and drag down your audio file. Now make sure your MP3 file is selected, go to Layer, New, Solid, and change this to the same resolution as the other one. Now do not worry about the color, that will not show up. So here you can see is the red solid one. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to go to Effects. You're going to want to go to Generate. Yes, Generate. And you're going to want to go to Audio Spectrum. So here you can see it's your Audio Spectrum. Now we can start messing around all we want, but the first thing we're going to want to do is set this to the MP3. So make sure that is selected to the MP3. Now, if you want to mask it into a different shape just besides a flat line you can see here, then what you're going to want to do is make sure red solid is selected. You're going to want to go up to here, to this shape tool, select the shape you want. I am going to go with a ellipse. Hold Control-Shift-Alt on your keyboard and resize it. Actually, I selected this here. I don't know why I did that. So here you can see if you double click on it, you can already make it, but that's not what I want. So again, you hold this, select it on whatever you want, and here you can drag. So I am going to make this, if you hold Shift, it'll make it perfect, like circle. Hold Control, it'll make it in the center, and you hold Alt, it'll just mess it up. So I like to do Control and Shift, and here you can see this is about good. Now, what you're going to want to do is go down here, and it should be a mask. Make sure this is set to none, and then what you're going to want to do is up here, when it says Path, select Mask 1, and now it will go around on the circle. Now, you can always change everything about this. So let's say the maximum height, I'm going to set this to about... at 480, let's go 1500. Now, of course, you might run out of room issues here. You can always change that. That's actually too big. Alright, there you go. Let's go with that. Now, of course, if you want more bands rather than just the ones they have here, you're going to want to go to frequency bands and change this up to a much higher number. So here, I'm going to go all the way to, again, 512. This does not have to be the same. And you can see it looks a lot more fluid. I don't 100% like that. So I'm actually going to bump that down to about 256 or half of that. And I think that looks pretty cool. Now, of course, you can change all the colors about it. So here, if you go to the inside color, make sure this is selected to pretty much whatever you want. This is going to be the main color, so I'm going to go with a nice blue hue for this. And then second color is going to be blended. Now, you can select the exact same color if you want. I'm going to actually select it to about maybe a little lighter. Let's say I like that. That looks good. Now, if you want to get really crazy, you can go over here to Hue Interpolation and crank this up, and it will make it a rainbow based off of the current hue. So let's say I think this looks pretty sick. I like that. Again, I might decrease the frequency bands 225. I think that looks really cool, so I'm going to keep it at that right now. Now, you can always change the thickness of this. I'm going to leave it at 3 just because the thicker bands don't look quite as good. And this is important up here. If it is getting too large and it will not fit in your screen, you're going to want to bump up this and lower this. This is basically going to be the ratio of frequency that will be picked up by the spectrum. Now, the higher this is and lower this is, that will mean it's all smaller, so it will be smaller. Now, softness, I would leave this at 50, but if you have 100, you can see it's very sharp. I'm going to leave this, again, at 50. It might be hard to see on the video. Now, here you can see there's digital analog lines, which look pretty cool, too. But you will see something different in a minute, so I'm going to leave this at digital. Now, one thing you can do here is select which side it is. So here's inside, and you can see if I go over here, this is outside. So I'm actually going to leave this on outside for now, but there's a reason for that. What I'm going to do is you're going to want to make sure this is highlighted. Click on Control D, and this will copy it. So open this up, and what you're going to want to do is make sure that's highlighted, and you're going to want to change this to side A, and change this to a different thing. So I'm going to go with analog lines, and here you can see it makes this really crazy effect. Now, in alternative, you can change this to analog dots if you want it to not be, but just a different effect. You can change this and mess around with this all you want. I'm going to stop this here. But you can change this. I'm actually going to keep this at analog lines. Now, if I want the height to go down, I am going to turn this down to about 256 just to give it a better effect because it's on the inside. So let's say I think this looks really cool. Let's say I like that. I love it. Now, what you're going to want to do just to make sure everything is amazing is go up to here, make sure these are both selected, so hold Control while selecting both of them, and click on Effects, then click on Stylize, go to Glow, and here's where you can really mess around with it to make it look amazing. So what you're going to want to do is go over here to Effects, Glow for both of it, and of course go to Options, or whoops, no, don't do that. It should all, oh yeah, just scroll down, duh. Alright, so here you can mess all sorts of settings with the glow. I'm actually going to leave it at what it is now. You can set the glow radius, glow intensity, all of that good stuff. I think it looks pretty sweet at what it is now, so I'm going to leave it at that. Actually, you might want to turn down the intensity if you don't want it to be that insane of an effect, you know, because it's insane, guys. So of course select the other one, scroll down, and let's say I want to change this to 0.5. And it's a more subtle effect you can see here, guys. I think that looks pretty sick. So I'm going to go with that. Now let's say you want to change the background color. Now that is all good because this isn't always the prettiest color. Just because, I mean, black is nice, but it's not always the prettiest. So what you're going to want to go do is you're going to want to click on Layer, New, Solid, and change this to actually any color. It won't really matter right now. This won't actually be your background color. And what you're going to want to make sure is this goes behind both of your things right above your audio file. Now what you're going to want to do is go over here, click on Effects. Why can my mouse not reach it? Effects, Generate 4-Color Gradient. Now here's where you can mess around with pretty much everything. So I'm going to make this a nice dark tone. So I'm going to select some of these to black. I'm going to select all the corner ones to black just because I think that looks pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Actually no, I'm going to select this one to black as well. Alright, what? Now, what is going on? This one, I want all the corners to be black, so I like this. Now, of course, you can mess around with where the placement of these are. I don't like the green one personally, so I'm actually going to pull these out. I'm actually going to leave a slight hint of that, but I want the green to be the main color. So I'm going to put it as a whitish tone. So I'm going to leave it like that, a nice gray. I think that looks pretty sick, guys. make sure you can change this as much as you want. It will almost never be the same as another person's. So here you can see this is pretty much done. Now again, you can just mess around with this all you want, but I think it looks pretty nice. Okay, so once you think it looks nice and you want to render it, you are going to want to go all the way up here to where it says File, Export, and click on Add to Render Queue. Now you're going to want to click on where here it says Best Settings. Now change this to whatever you want. I'm going to actually select this to draft just for the purpose of this video. I would leave it the way it is right now. Resolution, make sure that's set to full. Or it says down here, lossless. Make sure this is AVI. Adobe is so buggy when it comes to this kind of thing. RGB, millions of colors, pre-multiplied. Now here, down here is going to be your quality and your bitrate for your audio. I'd keep that, and you can also resize it if you want to. Click on OK. And now you're going to want to click where it says output to click on this little... Click on where it says the name. Oh, what the heck? Click on where it says the name, and you're going to want to select the path of this. So I'm going to just leave it the way it is. Don't know why this is there. So I'm just going to set it to desktop, YouTube vids, rendered stuff, and save it there. Then what you're going to want to do, select this, and click on render. Now this will take a pretty long time depending on your settings and all your other stuff. I'm going to leave it at what it is now. So I will be back, guys, once this has finished rendering. So as you can see, guys, the video had just finished rendering. Now in order to view it, you just want to go to the location of the file. But with the power of editing, I will show you how it turned out. So guys, I think it turned out really nicely. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week.